Hi everyone, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing a book haul. I know that I've never done one of these videos in my channel before, and I'm actually really excited. I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I just could not contain myself from buying all of these books, and I actually wanted to buy more, but I had to stop myself because I'm like, I need to get through these before I end up buying another batch. I also have a couple books that I have had that I'm planning to read next. Let's go ahead and get started on with the haul. So this one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've heard such amazing things, and Caesar has really been like telling me like, you need to read this book. So this is one that I'm going to be reading this year. I'm big on wanting to read more about finances and money and self-help aside from like fiction and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to go through this book. Apparently it's a pretty easy read. It's kind of like a lot more storytelling in the beginning, and then it kind of like goes through more other things. But yeah, I'm excited. Let me know in the comments if you've read this one. The next one I actually already started last night because I couldn't help myself because I really want to go through these books like that. So this one is The Four Agreements. This one is by Don Miguel Ruiz. So it says, in The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us joy and create needless suffering based on ancient Toltec wisdom. I barely have started, but I really like it so far because it's such an easy read, and as you can tell, it's like a pretty like thin book. I honestly recommend that if you're trying to get back into reading, I highly recommend reading like a shorter like book, because I feel like you'll feel more accomplished, like, you know, like reading through like your first book since you haven't in so long, but also finding a book that actually genuinely like interests you, obviously. Next I have Invested. So this is what this one looks like. This is how I learned to master my mind, my fears, and my money to achieve financial freedom and live a more authentic life. So this one is actually by Danielle Town, which is the daughter of Phil Town. I believe Phil Town is a motivational like speaker and like investor, and you know, like kind of big in like the financial world. So again, another kind of like finance related book. Another one, actually, I found this one on sale with the Four Agreements. These two were buy one, get one 50% off. Yeah, so I got one at full price and then the other one at 50% off. This one is actually Think and Grow Rich. This is by Napoleon Hill. I've heard a lot of great things about this one, and again, it's kind of like a finance kind of self-help book. This one, it says, every chapter of this book mentions the money-making secret that has made fortunes for more than 500 exceedingly wealthy people whom I have carefully analyzed after a long period of years. If you're ready to put it to use, you will recognize this secret at least once in every chapter. I'm really excited to read this one. Next, I have found myself in like the little book section of YouTube lately, I think because I've just been really wanting to figure out what to read next. And aside from like self-help and like financial books or like memoirs even sometimes, I really love fiction. I actually used to read a lot of fiction when I was in middle school, so fiction is something that I really love to read. I love reading those stories, and also mysteries. I really do love to read mysteries. Other than that, I don't really dive into any other reading category because I'm not really that interested in any other one. So this one is actually a fiction book. I thought the cover was so cute, but I've heard a lot of great things about the Love Hypothesis. This is by Ali Hazelwood. It basically says, when a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. So I love little like love stories and like mysteries and stuff. This is not a mystery, I don't believe, but it's like more of a love story, so I'm really excited to read this one. And I keep seeing it like really like often. I keep seeing this cover like everywhere, and I had this on my Amazon cart for so long, so I'm really happy that I got it. Next, I have two more, and these are authors that I feel like have really been talked about so much lately, and there's so many books that I want to read from them. So I really think I'm gonna do like a TBR list to share with you guys all the books that I want to read. This is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I've heard such amazing things, like such amazing things about her as an author, and also just like her books, and this book in particular. There's so many books of hers that I want to read, and I definitely found a good few like at Barnes & Noble, but I also wanted to limit myself about like how many books I'm really gonna buy at once. So after I'm finished through these, I definitely want to get more into more of her books. Of course, proving that like once I really like this one. But this one is a novel. It says Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Riley Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Personally, for me, I like going into a bookstore and reading like the back of the book, because the first thing that I kind of look for is like the cover and the back of the book, and if I find interest in that, then I kind of actually start reading like the first couple pages, and if I feel like really like, oh, I want to read this, then I'll usually grab it. And this one, I've heard such amazing things, of course, but me going into the bookstore and actually like reading the back and like actually reading a little bit in the beginning of the book kind of really like was like, okay, I actually like really want to read this book. So I'm really excited about this one for sure. Another author that I keep seeing everywhere, and I think she's most famous right now for, I think, The Seven Husbands of something. I will add it on the screen somewhere. I couldn't find that book. I really want to read that book, but I will definitely read it much later on, I think. But that book is like everywhere. I swear, every like YouTube video I watch on books, like everybody recommends that book. It's like insane. So I keep seeing it everywhere now, and I definitely want to read that one. But this one that I got is Maybe in Another Life, and this is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So she's also the author of the other book that I just showed. This one, the back again like really got me, and like reading a little bit of the beginning also got me. At the age of 29, Hannah Martin still has no idea what she wants to do with her life. Don't we all? She has lived in 6 different cities and has held countless meaningless jobs since college, but on the heels of a disastrous breakup, she has finally returned to her hometown of Los Angeles. To celebrate her first night back, her best friend Gabby takes Hannah out to a bar where she bumps into her high school boyfriend Ethan. It's just past midnight when Gabby asks Hannah if she was ready to go. Ethan quickly offers her a ride later if she wants to stay. Hannah hesitates. What happens if she leaves with Gabby? What happens if she leaves with Ethan? In concurrent storylines, Hannah lives out of the effects of each decision. Quickly, these parallel universes develop into surprisingly different stories with far-reaching consequences for Hannah and the people around her. I thought the cover was pretty cute too, and I don't know, I think it's so interesting. So I'm excited to see if I really like it. But yeah, this is another book that I'm really excited to read. Let me know in the comments what genre of reading you like best, because I personally really like self-help and fiction a lot. Also, I would love to know if you guys have any recommendations as to what book like you think is good, or what book you've read recently that you really liked, because I'm always now like searching for like what books I want to read next. I will be doing possibly more reading related videos here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.